Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So today I'm going to take a look at the unofficial numbers from August. They are pretty crazy. There will be more sales that trickle in, so the official numbers might waver a bit from this, but this is a pretty good snapshot of what happened in August. So let's dive into those and then we'll take a look at our week over week numbers. I will say that I had the busiest August ever. I think most realtors can concur with that. So I am not surprised to see the crazy numbers. Usually it's one of our slower months where people are on vacation, but that was not the case apparently this month. So when we look at August 2019, we sold 83 units. This August, we sold 132. That is up 59%. So a lot of transactions happened this month. In terms of average price point, in 2019, our average price was $781,235. Our average price this August was $951,000. So that is an increase of 22%. So that just shows you, like, we had a lot of high ticket properties transacting this month and our average price is reflecting that. So that is a massive leap year over year. I think realistically, we all know that our spring market sort of shifted to the summer. One of the other interesting stats is in 2019, our average days on market was 31 days. And in 2020, it was only 13 days. So properties were just flying off the shelf. So all of these numbers are not really surprising based on what we were seeing week to week. So overall, August numbers are showing stronger than July. Our units are up, our prices are up. So it is going to be interesting to see if September keeps up with that trend, or if with schools opening and things changing, things start to cool off a bit. So it seems week to week, we are kind of flip-flopping. One week we have high sales and the next week it's like they're holding off offers. So we have low sales and then it picks up the next week. So this week in Georgetown, we were down to 18 properties that sold, which is what we had 2 weeks ago. The interesting thing, of those 18 properties, 11 of them sold over asking. So just continuing to keep up with that bidding more trend. We had 24 new listings. So this was a week where our listings outpaced our sales. So 2 were relists, so 22 new properties entering the market, which is just, I'm just happy to see any inventory at this point. So let's just keep that coming. In Acton this week, we had 6 properties sell, which is a good number. It's higher than kind of the average 3-4 that we were seeing. So that's good news there. So we did have 7 new properties enter the market there. So things are pretty stable in Acton. In Glen Williams this week, we had 2 properties sell, which is a good number for there, and no new listings. In Limehouse, we had no movement. In the rural market, we had 4 sell, which is a high number for a rural. But the interesting thing is all 4 of those properties sold over asking. So there is some demand in the rural market. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. We did have 3 new properties enter the market there. So there is still some new inventory coming up there. Okay, so now let's take a look at active inventory. So we are up slightly this week to 100 active listings. That is up from the 98 that we saw, but like obviously still not even close to enough. 12 of those are in sold conditional status, but like I said, tons of properties are holding off offers now. So it kind of skews the numbers in terms of just the way inventory is shifting week to week. In Georgetown this week, we are up to 55 active listings from 50, so not crazy jump, but I mean, it's something. When we look at our price points, under 700 is up just a bit to 11 active listings. Where we saw another huge drop this week is between the 700 and 800,000 price point. That is down to 3 active listings, so like nothing basically. So the 800 to million price point, we are up slightly to 11 active listings, which is good news, but I anticipate those numbers will dip again next week. So the one price point that we saw the big leap in this week was over $1 million. We are back up to 30 active listings. We were dipped into the low 20s a few weeks ago. I mean, it's no surprise to see people in this price point listing. When things are moving like this, it is definitely a good time to be listing your higher price point home. So in Acton this week, we have 13 active listings. The interesting thing is there are 0 listings between 800,000 and 1.1 million. So I know I have buyers in that range. It's a pretty high demand price point right now, which is kind of a change for Acton. So if you have a house that fits in that range, I would recommend getting it on. Glen Williams is down to 4 active listings, which is more of a normal number for them. But the interesting thing there is it starts at 1.6 million. So you need to have a pretty high budget to be looking in Glen Williams right now. Limehouse stayed steady at 2 active listings, and the rural market is down slightly to 26 active listings. Of those 26 listings, only 1 of them is under $1 million. So your budget definitely needs to be a bit higher if you're thinking you might move rural right now. So overall, another strong week in terms of sales. And when we look at our August listings, although we'll have a few more sales trickle in, this definitely supports the craziness that we were feeling week over week. I definitely don't have a crystal ball of what is going to happen this fall, but I would say we had the strongest summer I've ever seen in my 10 years in real estate. The numbers were significant year over year. I do think that that's going to continue into September because we still have such high buyer demand and such low inventory. But I think a lot is going to depend on what happens when schools open and if we get this second wave that people are predicting. So for now, the real estate market remains in a seller's position where it is a great time to be selling your home. Buyer demand is high, supply is low. So that's it for this week. I am really looking forward to see how the first week of September does. And I'll be back next Tuesday to update you on that. I hope everyone has a great long weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday.